Look, look. I did my nails. I did my nails. You wanna know why? We're going on a trip. Hi, my name is Kat. Welcome back to my channel, This Galen Knits, where we do yarny stuff. Today, though, we're doing something a little bit different. I'm leaving in the morning. I think it's about 12 hours out that we need to get up and go to the airport. Because we're heading to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Me and my husband are taking a 6-day trip down there so that he can participate in some of the poker tournaments that are being hosted at the Hard Rock Casino. Don't ask me what is happening over here because it's a lifelong struggle. So I need to clean, I need to pack, and most importantly, which is why you're here, we need to pack the projects. I have 6 days of traveling with flights and layovers, and then 6 days of being in Florida where there's nothing else to do but to work on these projects. And hopefully 3 out of those days, my husband will be in a tournament all day long, so I will have literally nothing to do but to sit at a casino and knit. With that in mind, I have chosen some projects to pack and bring with me, and I figured I would talk them through with you, film, the packing, and then we can have a little travel vlog. A little clip of me going to the airport, all that good stuff. Something I can look back on. Yeah, so let's talk projects. I decked out my water bottle in We Are Knitters stickers literally last night because I found a sticker page from one of the orders I got from them, and now I feel like this is very on brand. Anywho, projects. So originally I was thinking that I was going to be bringing crochet projects with me on this trip. I'm choosing to focus on Christmas gift deadlines. It is November 18th, and Christmas is a little over a month away. And I have gifts I need to ship to friends, and I have gifts that are pretty big that I want to have finished to give my family. So that means I gotta get going. With that in mind, was going to bring crochet projects because I'm planning 4 blankets in the next month. Ooh. I know that sounds like a lot, but I literally just made an entire throw blanket. I would argue even a bedspread for a twin bed in 5 days. So I think I can do it. And I already started on every single blanket. So I was planning to just bring those, but I've cranked my arm pretty bad this week, just working on other things, and I can feel it straining when I'm working on the blankets. So instead, I'm thinking maybe the 6-day trip is the perfect time to take a rest from crochet so that when I come back, I can get back in the groove. So I moved to all knitting projects. Also, knitting takes up way less space than crochet. In this case scenario anyway, because I'm crocheting with worsted weight yarn, multiple skeins, big project, versus a knitting project is a pair of knitting needles and 1 ball of yarn, because that's what I have with me. So I'm planning on 4 main projects. I'm contemplating a 5th, but I'll get into it. So the first one I'm definitely bringing with me. I cast it on last night, so it was on the needles. I never have problems flying out of my airport with my knitting stuff as long as I have a project started. I've never had a problem. So yesterday I started. Oh my god, just barely got going as it looks a mess. This is maybe 3 rows of some 1x1 rib on some US 7 16-inch knitting needles with needle stoppers and cute little dino beginning of round marker. This is going to be a 1x1 hat, just a ribbed beanie that I'm making for someone for Christmas. I was going to say who, but I'm not sure when this video is going to be put up, so I'm not going to say who yet. But that started, and I'm using some Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn, 100% acrylic in the color black. That's it. I figured that's super simple. I could just get that done on this trip, call it a day, and that's a gift off my list. The rest of the gifts are socks. Every single one of them is socks. Yeah. All of them are basically just started as well. This one in a project bag sewn by me. Ooh. These are on US 1 2.25mm Chalgu knitting needles. And this is all that started. Cast on the toe. This marks the end of my toe. And I just switched over my yarn color and started working on it. These are for a friend with a slightly bigger foot than me, so they're staying on Magic Loop just for convenience and so I can keep track of the way I'm changing the way I knit my socks normally. But these are just going to have a contrasting toe, and then the rest of the sock is going to be in this blue variegated colorway. That's my thought process. And in this bag I have the ball of yarn for the blue, which is some yarnable plush sock, I think it is. And then at the bottom of this bag I have a cluster of stitch markers so that I can keep track of my rounds on each sock. So I have this just started. Put that back in there. And this is definitely coming with me. This one is in a Crown Royale bag. This is also just started. This is on 9-inch US 1 2.25mm Chalgu needles. This is how I prefer to knit my socks typically. It's either this or the Magic Loop method. So again, just did the toe and switched over to the contrasting color, which is going to be this pink. And I have a, don't know what you can see that. There you go. A Starbucks beginning of round marker on there. This is a 64 stitch sock. The one I just showed you is a 68 stitch sock. Started this as normal. It's ready to knit into the foot. And that has the pink yarn that goes with this. This is also yarnable plush sock. And there's also a cluster of stitch markers in here. These 2 pairs of socks are going to the same house, so I'm knitting them kind of matchy-matchy with a contrasting toe, and then the rest of it in the same color. So that is that. This pair is slightly further along, but again, on the same 9-inch needles. Ooh, that looks rough. Is that any better? A little. So this is about almost 30 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 30 rows into the foot. On this sock, this is the first sock of the pair. Same stitch marker, same 9-inch needles. And this is the exact same blue yarn as the first sock I showed you. I had 2 skeins of it. And I have a cluster of stitch markers, stitch markers, in this bag as well. So that's that. All Christmas gifts, all on the first sock. And this is in a project bag that I sewed. All of those are definitely coming with me. And ideally, I would like to get all of the first socks at least done on those. I would like to finish the hat, which reminds me I need to pack needles. Big brain. I need to pack some US 7 magic loop needles so I can finish the decreases on the hat. Big brain. It's because it doesn't have a project bag that I didn't think about that. Okay. And this last project that I'm thinking about is also in a bag sewn by me. I like this project and I want to bring it with me because it's very close to being done. But, and this is also socks, but I'm hesitant to bring it because these are for my husband for Christmas. So I'm nervous to bring this and work on them in front of him because I haven't, and he might pick up on the fact that these are the biggest socks that I'm working on. They're clearly for him. And I don't want to do that. I want to surprise him. But let me see if I can hold this. Siéntate. Okay. So the first sock is already done, ends woven in and everything. This is not yarnable. This is Silver Key Stitches 42 base in a one-of-a-kind colorway. Pretty positive on that. Here's all my stitch markers. So yeah, this is completely done. I knit him a 76 stitch sock, 80 rounds on the foot, a rounded toe, heel flap and gusset, 30 round leg, 15 round cuff. And I just started doing something new on all my socks this year because I'm gifting a lot of socks for Christmas, where I started knitting a ribbed panel along the top of the gusset for all the socks. I find that's really helped with fit. I did this for the pair of Halloween socks I gave my husband this year, and he said that they're one of the best fitting stockinette socks he's had. So I've just taken up doing that for everybody so that more than likely it'll fit the person I'm giving them to. So this is done. And I have the second sock started. Here's the yarn, just for reference. Sorry, the lighting is kind of shit. It's starting to get dark outside, so I just have the overhead. Come here, sock. And again, this is on magic loop because big sock. And this is all I have done so far. It's just the toe. I'm 5 rows past the toe on this sock. So this is the only pair on my needles right now on the second sock. And I feel like I could definitely get it done in the trip. But I'm not sure if I bring this, will I also get all that progress on those socks? It is only a 6-day trip. Now I can knit a 64 stitch sock like almost in a day, to be honest. Normally like the toe and the foot I can get done in a day, and then the gusset, heel flap, turn. What am I trying to say? The toe and the foot in a day, and then the gusset, heel, leg, and cuff in one day, and get the second one cast on right after that. Is typically how it. If I sit down and focus, that's typically how it goes. So I'm trying to weigh my options. I feel like this might be better to leave here, and when I come back with these having major progress, then I can just whip through the second socks on most of these pairs and call it a day. But I have been keeping this hidden, so I'm not sure that I want to bring it out now and possibly ruin it. But that is what I have to work on through this trip. Our first flight is like an hour and a half, and then we have a layover, very brief layover. And then we're getting back on a plane, I think, for another hour or so. So I will be knitting through that process, and when we get to the airport and waiting for our plane to board, all that stuff. And then knitting the whole trip, ideally. Me and my husband are packing our video game systems, so we can do that on his off days from the tournament. And yeah, our plans are to play Dead by Daylight and to binge The Vampire Diaries because it's his first time watching that series through, and you know it's a good series. He's addicted to it. I didn't tell you that though. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping to get through. First sock on those 3 pairs and finish the hat. Minimum. If I can get this bigger sock that's on Magic Loop done, that means when I finish these other 2 socks, I can cast on all the second socks as well, because I need the long needles to knit the toes, which is how I start my socks, because I knit toe up, if you didn't figure that out. So that's kind of my plan, is to power through each sock and try to get them all cast off, and then cast on each sock again so that I have the second socks started ASAP. Because when we get back from this trip, it'll be like 2 days before Thanksgiving, and I already know I have a full day on Thanksgiving, because I'm going to family's house to help cook, and then it's just like 2 weeks or something. I'm probably underestimating, but it's better if I underestimate, because then I have it in my brain. Only like 2 weeks until Christmas, and I want to get these done, finished, blocked, and wrapped, so that I can go back to working on projects for me as soon as Christmas comes. I'm planning a Christmas cast on. I don't know if that's going to happen. I might just pick up some projects I already have started. Anyway, I've talked long enough. We need to pack. Let's go pack.
not know this nigga? I swear we do, Tim.
Right.
That's why they grabbed us. With a sacrifice. Yes. He's going to kill us.
That's for the Hard Rocks as well.
So that could be it.
guys are just joining us, if you're much joy point, President Light, see takeoff.
And just like that, we're home. This is going to be the end of the vlog. Thank you so much for coming along with me on our travels. Before we close this video out, I want to do a recap of the project progress that got done on the trip. So, starting with the project that didn't get any work at all. To refresh, since we've been sitting here for a while watching this video, my goal was to finish 3 socks, the first sock in each pair, and finish a beanie. I don't think I accomplished that. So I was supposed to finish this sock, and it got absolutely no work. Not a single row was put on this sock. It just didn't work out that way. So this is still the same. As for the beanie, I worked on it on the very last day and got just over 5 inches into the body of the hat. This needs another 4.5 inches, and then I can do the decreases, and this will be done in the next few days, but not finished. For our last 2 pairs of socks, there was actual progress done because I had to put work in somewhere. So I finished the first sock of this pair. Contrasting toe and cuff, heel flap and gusset construction. This is a 64 stitch sock, if you don't remember that from earlier. This one's completely done, ends woven in and everything. And this is our second sock. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is ready for the gusset. So this needs a gusset, heel turn, heel flap, and then the cuff. And it's done. So this is easily halfway done, and I can get this probably finished in a day when I sit down and work on it. So there's that. And as for our last our last project, I finished this sock, which is the sister sock to the other pair that I'm making. Again, contrasting toe and cuff, heel flap gusset. This is a 68 stitch sock. Yeah, look at that color. So this is completely done, ends woven in and everything, and I started the second sock. But did I get far? No. This is all I have for the second sock of this pair, which is kind of where the first one was when we left. But the plans are now to get this done so that I can also get the heel done on this other sock, finish, switch the colors out for the cuffs, and then both of these pairs will be done. So that is my next steps as far as these projects go. Didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do knitting wise, but we did a lot of walking, lots of time in the casino, and on the last day of the trip, my arms were not feeling it anymore. I don't know if it was the heat, I don't know if it was just me being tired, but I was straightening them out. So I ended up changing over to video gaming with my husband and designing some templates for the site. So that is how I spent my final day of travel. Still productive, just not on my original goals. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming along with me. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.